Today marks the 25th anniversary of the handover of Hong Kong. Since its return to the mainland, China has expanded its influence and control throughout the former British colony by cracking down on freedom of speech and political dissidents. In recent years, Beijing has introduced a more patriotic education throughout Hong Kong schools, all of this driving many to leave. Uyghur activist Rushan Abbas shedding light on China's genocide in the northern part of the country. Abbas says China's influence on the global economy has allowed them to strong-arm the world into looking the other way, including what she calls, quote, woke corporate America. You're in contact with a lot of Uyghurs. Have they told you, have you talked to any of them who have been inside these camps and are now out? Have they told you what goes on?
Yes.
What goes on?
Actually, the most horrific things that no one can imagine that happens in the 21st century in today's world, an information era. The Uyghurs are subject to, the ones in the camps, forcibly giving up their any kind of ethnic identity. They cannot speak their own language. They are forced to speak Chinese. They have to forsake their religion, and not only they are subject to very heavy indoctrinations with Chinese political ideologies, the communist ideologies, but they are also subject to mass systematic rape, forced sterilizations, and they are actually subject to very inhumane treatments, overcrowded. People are put together in the room. They cannot even lay down. They have to take turns to lay down and sleep. Deprivation of food, water, and the sleep, and very poor hygiene. So the people are herded in the rooms, like 40, 50 of them in a small room, and they are not given opportunity to drink enough water and go use the toilet facilities or bathroom facilities, how long the internal organs can last. Basically, the Chinese government is not doing mass killing or gassing out people, but they are using any way they can to make people just die and disappear.
All right, there's very little Western access to Uyghurs. Do you have any idea how many people might be in the camps, or how many are detained? Because I imagine there are different levels of detention, or even the Uyghur population.
What I have been using since May 2019 is 3 million people, because Randolph Schreiber, the Deputy Defense Secretary of the United States, he actually said in one of his briefings in Pentagon about 3 million people, according to the US intelligence, US numbers. So at least 3 million people, because the population of the Uyghur people, according to the Chinese government's own statistics or consensus, it's about 11 to 12 million. But according to the Uyghur intellectuals spent 2 years going to town, the neighborhood to neighborhood, and they did the population and the population statistics, and it's about 18 to 20 million. But today, the streets are empty. You don't see the Uyghurs in the towns that mostly the Uyghurs are populated. And the worse than anything, we are Muslim. In Islam, we don't cremate bodies. We bury bodies. But crematorias are massively being built next to the concentration camps, and also mainly the Uyghur populated the neighborhoods and the counties. Radio Free Asia Uyghur Service reported the time after time about the crematorias are being built, and that their sources are the government construction bids and the job announcements for those crematorias. For a culture doesn't practice cremation, why there is such a need of building crematorias?
Are you getting, are the Muslim nations, predominantly Muslim nations, are they expressing outrage? Are they helping at all?
Chinese government openly announcing that Islam or any religion is a mental disease, is ideological disease to cure for. They are burning Qurans and demolishing mosques and basically waging a war on Islam, on religion. But most of the Muslim majority countries are quiet because the Chinese government is manipulating those people in general because they already had the agreement with the government that they are not reporting any of the Uyghur-related issues or anything about Uyghur Muslims on their mainstream media. And the governments are taking China's narratives because of the economic benefits, power of the Belt and Road Initiative, trade threats, debt trap diplomacy, and the manipulation in United Nations as the second largest donor. China basically become the power able to strong-arm the world, not just in Muslim majority countries, even here in the United States. You see corporate America being woke and being so vocal against any kind of social injustice. There were so many celebrities, talk show hosts used to speak about women's rights or any kind of social injustice here in America. Everybody's so quick criticizing our government here in America. But where are they when the perpetrator of genocide is China? So when the perpetrator has money and the power, everybody decides to take the economic benefits they are receiving.
Now, that was just some of my interview with Uyghur activist Rushan Abbas. You can catch all of it on Independence Day. That's at Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it.